For the last 365 days, I did something that many people can never say they will ever do. I made a video every single day, I read my Bible, and I exercised in some form. And here's what I learned. Oh, hey guys. I just finished Project 365, which is wild to think about. I've never really thought I would be here this fast. I always thought that I would make it, and I would do it, but I never thought I would actually be here now, which is crazy to think about. And a lot of people didn't even think I would be here. A lot of people thought I wouldn't make it past 100 days or I would stop at some point. But we didn't. We pushed through and here we are, 365 days in. Throughout this project, I have grown immensely, but it hasn't been easy at all. In the reality of it, if you watched any of my series at all, you know that it has been difficult a lot of the times, and probably the majority of the time it's been hard to make a video, it's been hard to get into my word, it's been hard to exercise each day, and it hasn't been perfect. At the start of the series, my idea was to push what Christian content is. Like, obviously I wanted to grow my consistency and myself, obviously, in different ways. I didn't know what that looked like. To be honest, I was just sitting on a couch just thinking, what can I do to start posting content again that sounds fun and I can get re-engaged? And I was sitting on my couch and the thought came, what if I post a video every single day for the next 365 days? And I really didn't second guess it at the time. I think now I would, but I just kind of did it. And I just started prepping for it, and a week later I started doing it. And it hasn't been perfect. Like, I've had a lot of ups and downs. I used to be 3 days ahead. That ended like probably a month into the series. And when I started content creation back in 2020, I was very consumed by numbers and consumed by likes and views. And if a video didn't perform like the one before or did worse, it was a failure. And I think this project of posting daily really taught me that it doesn't matter, you know? And I think I really learned that like midway through, that it doesn't matter. Like, as long as somebody's being impacted, as long as one person is feeling impacted, that's all that matters. And the crazy thing is, I had no clue what this project looked like at all in the beginning. Like, none. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know exactly what it looked like. It started out as vlogging my life for 365 days. I kind of did that. It kind of looked different than how it did and developed differently. And I think I changed my perspective on like what even the kind of content I want to make. And like, once I started changing my perspective to like just being consistent and just trying to impact just one person, it became so much easier to make a video because it wasn't for numerical purposes anymore. It was just to be consistent. And I think that's a wall that was taken down by posting daily. Because I was like, oh, I just don't care. Because I committed to posting daily. So however it does, I'm fulfilling my commitment and I'm impacting people. So that's really all that matters. And I'm a person. So even if I'm just impacting myself, it's great because I'm growing. Throughout this project, I have grown immensely and I've developed skills I never even thought I would develop in this project, like learning to love to read. Like, I used to not love reading at all, and this year I have read almost like 25 books, which is wild to think for me. And in this project, I became a better storyteller, editor, content creator, and I defined what my values are in my life, especially this last month, defining what truly matters to me and why. But most importantly, I've become a better follower of Jesus. And there's 3 things I learned in this project that really changed my relationship with Christ and just my life in general. And those 3 things are to just be, to consistently surrender, and to be faithfully consistent. So, what does that mean? The idea of to just be has been so pivotal in this series. It has been with me since like the 80th video, and I have constantly had to learn it throughout my life, but especially throughout this year. And what does that even look like in my life? And it's really just to not be consumed with what's happening around me, to be able to slow down and just be in God's presence, to just be where He has me, and to not lose sight in what He's doing in my life. To surrender consistently has been a part of my life since the beginning of this year. to surrender constantly to God. I think a lot of times, and a question I got asked often was, what is surrender even? How do I surrender? And I was figuring that out while I was talking to you guys about it, because I didn't know. For the longest time, I'm like, oh, I'm surrendering to God, I'm giving it to Him. But it's more of just like saying, God, I'm giving you everything in my life. I can't do this on my own. And I think a lot of times we view life as performance-based. And I think I described this in my video pretty well in stewardship, talking about how God gives us things to steward, but we have to surrender those things back to God, because we can't do it on our own. We can't do it on our own strength. In our weakness, we are strong because of God, because we're relying on Him. So it's just being in constant reliance of Christ. About you, but being faithfully consistent is so pivotal in your relationship with Jesus, especially in my life at least. To be faithfully consistent on the good days and on the bad days, to commit to my relationship with Jesus, to surrender to Him, to just be with Him. This is the core to what we just talked about before, to be faithfully consistent in spending time with Christ. These 3 ideas have radically changed my life and have made me into the person I am today, and for that, I'm grateful. I've been getting questioned a lot of what's next, and I really have no clue. I don't know what it's going to look like in the next few weeks, months, years, because I ditched the idea that I had because it just didn't feel right, and we're going to be figuring that out over the break. So I'll see you guys hopefully in a couple weeks, but we'll see. Probably going to be making long form videos though, so see you soon. One of my original goals at the start of this project was to make Christian content creation better, and we're just getting started.